This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Kaplan and Crew show. Alex Padilla, John Browner, Jason Lawhead with you guys today. Scott will be back tomorrow after he's back celebrating his 3-year anniversary with his GF down in Mexico. Scott, of course, this morning texted me already like, hey, what's going on? What's going on the show today? Is Jason Lawhead filling in? And I was like, bro, you need to learn how to take a vacation. He texts me every day except yesterday so far while in Mexico. And I was like, dude, come on, take a break. Leave me alone. We got this. Jason, we got this, right?
Yeah, he knows that.
He knows that. I don't know why he's like, he gets so nervous when he's not here. I'm like, brother, relax.
He's a panicker. He suffers.
Panicker.
Scott Kaplan suffers from the worst case of FOMO I think I've seen in a man over the age of 25. And literally, if there were two Scotts, that wouldn't be enough.
Yeah.
He was
I just
like,
know.
oh, I'm gonna miss this over here. Oh, I gotta miss this. Oh, I got this dinner. Oh, like, dude, relax.
So
chill.
Off air, we were talking about how Scott got the world's dopest photobomb down in Mexico. I'll pull it up. Should I pull it up? He's shirtless. Should I pull this up?
No,
be mad
we don't need to see two whales.
That's. I mean, I wouldn't know if. I mean, he's on social media.
He put it on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know. So whatever.
I'm gonna do it.
But
like, I don't care.
I would if I was hanging out with this celebrity. I would like just seeing it in its natural. Look at
this.
And it's
you got photobombed by Shamu, bro.
Shamu, like in the wild.
The real Shamu.
What is he looking at?
I think he's he's like, Deshaun got traded where? I think that's what he was saying at that moment. What? Huh? Yeah, like he's doing this vacation and he's just like, I need to get on my phone. I don't know what's going on immediately. I need to know what is that, because like I said in the first segment, I was at Viejas Arena for Notre Dame, Alabama, and then the news came down, and who's the first person that texted me? Scott. Yeah. And I was like, did you talk to your boy yet? Because one of his best friends is the offensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns, Alex Van Pelt. And he's like texting as we speak. And I was like, okay, cool. And then we were just texting back and forth. I guess, spoiler alert, he will have another TJ Airport story. If you remember last time.
Oh, yeah, right.
They decided to drive across the border and they think they could park their car. Anyways, they missed their flight, blah, blah, blah.
And he ended up doing a segment on the show from the Tijuana airport.
All right. This time, just a little spoiler alert. Torrey Holistic's not legal in Mexico.
No.
So I'll let him tell you what he told me tomorrow when we get there. But you guys, I asked you off air. I was like, there's so much that happened these last 3 days because we weren't on the show. We didn't do a show on Friday because Browner was up in Peoria, Scott's in Mexico, and I actually was at home. I didn't do anything. I went to Viejas. That's it. And both of you all said, I mean, it's got to be Deshaun Watson, right? The trade of Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns for 5 draft picks has got to be the biggest story in football because it has a trickle-down effect. It's what's next for Baker Mayfield. What's going on with the Seahawks? What's going on with the Falcons? What's going on with the Colts? What's going on with the Texans? But let's start here. Deshaun Watson traded to the Cleveland Browns after Adam Schefter busted a Ken Rosenthal and told me the Cleveland Browns were out. They were not part of this deal. Deshaun Watson for, I believe, 5 draft picks. That's it. Traded to the Cleveland Browns. Jason, let's start with you. You're the Cleveland Browns fan. You tell me, how you feeling?
I feel I'll say this. I feel as I felt the day we drafted Baker Mayfield in this sense. I feel indifferent with a lean into optimism, not knowing what that future will hold. But I will say this. If you were to tell me who is closer to a number 1 overall pick out of the two, I would say Deshaun Watson by a mile coming out of college. So Watson was the 12th pick overall. The year before, Baker was the number 1 overall. I think if you evaluate them based on what they did in college and the types of athletes they are, and just even by the eye test of the most interested fan that watches college football, as I would classify myself. I would say there's no doubt that you would grade Deshaun Watson higher. So in that respect, I'm happy. I'm happy that we have Deshaun Watson's talent in Cleveland. I worry a little bit about the character blowing it all up at some point, but as is the NFL. It is you roll that dice with a lot of different personalities at a lot of different positions.
A lot of different off the field issues.
Yeah. So look, when you come to it and you say, throughout the season, as I speculated, Baker was probably playing for his Brown's future life, or he would have taken the surgery. But I think he feels like there was already something looming. I think the rumors coming out of his camp now is their team thought throughout the year that the front office was going to try to make a deal for them and Kirk Cousins, and then it went this way.
So close.
And then it went this way around the corner of the new year after the surgery, and now so this could get ugly because the Browns could just lock him up if they want to. And if he says he already said he was going to refuse to play for the Browns in a statement before the Watson trade came back alive, then maybe the Browns will sit there and say, well, refuse to play. We have you under contract and we won't have to pay you anything if you decide to not suit up. And if you decide to suit up and you want to get paid for the 5th year, we'll just make you a 3rd string quarterback. Or because I think that there isn't really any trade value so much as something maybe later on in later round picks for him for a team that might go, all right, we'll let him compete for the job. But I think why would these teams make that move now? Why wouldn't they just wait to see? Let's see if the Browns cut him and we can just invite him, assign him to something and bring him in and compete for the job. Because I don't know if anybody's looking at him like, let's go get Baker to be our starting quarterback. I think they'd go, all right. I mean, he's been a hit. He's taken his PR hit. He's coming off his shoulder surgery, a bad season. We know what we see on film. Yeah, let's see if he can, win the job. If he's got, but I think that's his ceiling right now.
Yeah. Well, Browner, I'm sure that you saw the reaction and probably had your own reaction to the Deshaun Watson deal. Were you surprised at the reaction that was?
No. What you mean? They ain't give him enough money. He should have got more money. Let me explain something to y'all, okay?
The most money ever, though.
Should have got more. Should have got more.
Played in a year, and he was 4-12 the year before that. You think he should have got more money?
When LeBron James,
I'm fine with paying him what they have to pay him because they have to pay somebody that at some point. I'm glad they're not going to give Baker Mayfield anywhere near $40 million a year. But come on, I mean, he hasn't played in a year. He was 4-12 the year before that, and I think $230 guaranteed is a pretty darn good deal for that. With all the other lingering questions,
there's one quarterback currently playing in the NFL better than him.
Who's that?
One.
Who's that?
That's Patrick Mahomes. That's it. That's the list. This dude's better than Deshaun Watson. He's better than Justin Herbert.
Watson.
He's better than than Aaron Rodgers.
How's Deshaun Watson better than Deshaun Watson?
I said that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
you literally started this.
That might have been the funniest thing I've ever seen Brown.
You literally started this by saying
that was great.
He's better than Deshaun Watson.
My bad. Well, Deshaun Watson.
Let's start over.
Okay.
Oh, he's better than
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
He better than Josh Allen. He better than Justin Herbert. And I love me some Justin Herbert.
All right. Hey, look, Browner, I hope he is. And if he is, then I'll Venmo Deshaun Watson $100 myself to give him more money than he'll deserve. And
then
I
load
hope
it up.
Better than all these guys.
If LeBron James brought a title to Cleveland, and it led to a 1 million person parade, Deshaun Watson will bring a NFL title to Cleveland.
Brown fact.
He is that good.
Wow.
He is that good. And this idea, I want to make something very clear to people because this fired me up. I've always been fired up about this from the very beginning.
Right away.
If the man was found not guilty, they didn't even take it to court, these quote-unquote complaints. And folks are still mad about these 22 civil suits. You know what a civil suit is? A civil suit is like, oh, this person said something about me. I'm going to sue them. Period. That would be like if I came on this show and made a false statement some also called them brown facts about Alex, and he chose to sue me. That's a civil suit, you fools. Period. If this man had done anything illegal to these women, he'd be in jail. He'd be in jail.
That's not always the case. You got enough money, that's not necessarily the case.
Listen, they tried to set this man up. It was a setup by the Houston Texans organization from the very beginning. Yes, he paid these women for sex. That's what he did. Prostitution is illegal. So if they're going to charge you with prostitution, soliciting a prostitute, then game on.
By the way, they didn't. But you're saying things that are not based in fact.
I'm telling you.
Brown facts.
What we know on my side.
Right. In the top left corner of this box, that is exactly what happened in the mind of Browner. In the mind of fact and what we know, we don't know what happened.
That organization set him up because he didn't want to play for them because they trash.
I would say this whole situation is beyond complicated. The entire let's
and if these folks out here talk about let me just say this last part, then we can go on with this with the regular talk. Okay? If you out there and you mad about these allegations, okay? And you voted for Donald Trump, go sit the hell down somewhere.
Come on. All right,
sit down.
Here's the thing.
It's I always say that I just want to get one point in on that. There is a lot of Browns people saying they're going to leave the team. They can't morally go. And I'm like, look, if you saw Kareem Hunt kick a girl on camera, and now you're going to walk away from the Browns because of Deshaun Watson's allegations, then that makes no sense.
When does an allegation just a pure guilt? If we innocent to proven guilty,
how? I mean, it just makes no sense.
Like what we doing?
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that Jason.
You'd make no sense that you would be okay with Kareem Hunt coming in and contributing to a playoff win last year and being a vital part of the offense going into the year following, and stick up for Baker Mayfield till the death do you part, but then be morally against Deshaun Watson coming in. I
think what I find the most interesting thing to me, this is the way I look at it. You can think everything that Browner said could be 100% true. Even if that is all 100% fact.
I hope it is.
Like, doesn't it still feel slimy that he basically got rewarded? Like, he basically was able to handpick his team. And what I mean by handpicked is not like he had 32 teams at his disposal. He had like 6, but he got to choose which 6 had the privilege of paying him the most money in NFL history. Yeah. That seems pretty slimy.
Why?
Because
it sure seems deserving, Alex, when Browner springs up that he didn't get paid enough. It seems like at least what you just said and it seems like he got paid enough.
Right. Because Browner, I don't subscribe to everything that you said is fact. That's why. Okay. I think that there's 22 females and the chances of every single one of them lying to me seems like a bit far-fetched, okay? If we're just being honest here. So, I don't know what happened and you don't know what happened in those sessions, whatever you want to call it. Because, see, I understand how you feel that way because you think that everything you're saying is 100% true. I don't know that. I don't know that.
Okay, on Instagram, they're selling sex. Okay. Newsflash.
Sure.
Don't know if y'all know this. Every trainer on Instagram ain't training at LA Fitness, y'all. Sorry. Okay? They working out muscles that ain't on the arms and legs.
Right.
Okay, these are torso specialists.
Like I said.
I'm sorry to break the news to y'all. I'm sorry. All these women with these abs on Instagram ain't trainers. They're prostitutes. Sorry.
All of them?
That's your Insta Brown facts for the day.
I know. All of them. Every single one of them.
Listen, most of them selling that thing, if you know what I mean.
Well, see, like I said, like I'm not going to outshout Browner. I'm not going to outshout you because that's what you believe. I don't believe that. I don't believe that 22 women are all lying about what happened with Deshaun Watson. I just don't. And I won't.
Well, look.
And also, like, here's the thing. Like, it happened. And I'm not surprised it happened. I'm not at all surprised any of this happened. I knew that the moment that he was not like convicted or charged or whatever the hell the word is. The moment that happened, I was like, well, he's going to get traded and he's only going to go to the place that's going to give him an extension. Like, I knew that. None of this is surprising. It's like Jason already said it the best. The Cleveland Browns have a running back who drop kicked a female on their team. If you are now offended, if you are now surprised, and if you are now offended, you're not paying attention to what happens in the NFL. Ray Rice got a 2-game suspension. The moment the video came out, his career was over. It's all about like let's not act like the NFL is the like the moral police, okay? Because they're just not, okay? There's so many players in this league that are just not good people. We just don't know about it yet. Like the things that we know are probably nowhere near about some of the worst things that some players have done in this league.
If you mad about Deshaun Watson, but you don't care about Robert Kraft, that tell me all I need to know about you, okay? Let me remind y'all, let me refresh y'all memory, okay? Robert Kraft got caught up in a sex trafficking scandal, okay? The police got him on tape, in a sex trafficking scandal multiple times. We don't talk about that. But this is a big deal to y'all, though, huh? Robert Kraft, a billionaire, putting money in a sex trafficking ring. Y'all okay with that? Go Patriots.
Who are you yelling at? Who are you yelling at?
Them. Now, these are some Brown facts.
Them.
Right.
No. Look at
I'm saying these are some Brown facts, what you're saying.
Well, I mean, it depends on which way they was doing the work. It might have been Brown. Who knows? I don't know how he take it. I'm just saying.
What you're saying is correct. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he was involved in something that was basically being investigated for human trafficking, which is like the girls working in that parlor were forced to work there. It's like they don't even have the ability to file a civil suit against somebody. They're just like trafficked down into a 12-hour work day, get in a van, you'll go sleep it off, and then get them hands ready for tomorrow. I mean, that's kind of where he was. I mean, this is a billionaire going to get like $149 massage.
Yeah, and then he like would fly
in
a
strip
mall in Florida.
Stop it.
And he would fly the same day to a playoff game,
right
in Kansas City.
But Deshaun Watson, he mad. All right.
Right.
Yeah, let me know.
I guess
more about
I
you.
wasn't. See, I think the whole. Sometimes you just yell so loud that it sidetracks me, but like I wasn't even talking about the reaction. Like I was just talking about like the act as a whole by the Browns. To me, will always seem slimy. That's it. It's just slimy. That's it.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second, okay? Yeah. In my calm voice, okay? Let's talk about what the Browns did. The Browns looked at the quarterback market, saw somebody better than the guy that they had, understandably knowing that he may miss some games next year. But we want to make sure that we show him we're fully invested in you. So we're going to give you this money knowing that we want you here because we believe in you, the athlete, and these other things that you've done, since everybody loves to talk about second chances, we are willing to give you a second chance. Now, that second chance comes with you coming here and leading us to wins. In a division where a guy just took us to the Super Bowl, basically his rookie year. Ben Roethlisberger just retired, so the window appears to be open. And the other guy in the division already won the MVP. So from a business
but Browner, like you literally just said why it's slimy. You literally just said exactly why it's slimy. The Browns know that the chances of this guy getting suspended this year because he did something wrong are very high.
Allegedly.
So why did they only give him $1 million for 2022? Because they know that it is a slimy move. The only way that Watson would go here is if we protect his money, because the chances are he's going to get suspended this year for X amount of games because he did something wrong. So let's protect him. And the only way we can do that is by luring him with $229 million. Let's not count the extra one because that might get taken away this year. That to me is exactly what I mean by slimy. Like, that's all. I'm not saying like I'm surprised. I'm not saying the Browns didn't make themselves a better football team. I think the Browns I don't think they're a good football team.
I'm surprised the Browns were actually smart enough to be that slimy. That's what I'm. That's what
I mean.
That's what I'm most surprised about.
The Browns were the slimiest of them all by agreeing to this contract in Deshaun Watson's terms. Like, that's all. I don't think I'm saying anything crazy, Brown. I think I'm
how
saying, like,
slimy
what a
the
lot of people
Browns
think.
are. Their owner got caught stealing from truckers. These truckers are convoying against like mandates. Like Jimmy Haslam stole from them. Like truckers. He owns a chain of trucking fuel, the Pilot J's, right? Where the truckers go in and get all their fuel. They go shower. They've got the whole big plaza, the whole place there for them to shop and do all this stuff. He was just bilking them off like pennies off the dollar off of their transactions.
Like I said, Jason, and like I think everyone here has made a different point that's all correct. I don't think the three of us are all wrong in any sort of way. I think that the Browns have a track record of, hey, we'll look past things as long as it makes us a better football team. Browner, I think you're 100% correct. If you're mad about Watson, you should be mad about plenty of other things in the NFL. And I think I'm right that this whole thing was slimy. That's all. This is Kaplan and crew. We got so much more to get to. Breaking news. I'll break that news to you when we come back. Kaplan and crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, kaplanandcrew.com.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we dance to the Dome on Your View.
Brought to you by Kearney Mesa Chevrolet. We're San Diego proud. Minutes from anywhere on Balboa Avenue.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living. Mondays at 9 on Your View.
So I became a dentist because I just love science and I love art. I have a music background, so I wanted to do something that I can use the hand dexterity that I've developed, through my musical training. We've had a practice in San Diego for 25 years. It's called the Super Dentist. For over 2 decades, I've had parents ask me the same questions on a daily basis. And so I decided to put all of this information in one place. I wrote a book. Title of it is If Your Mouth Could Talk. Because if your mouth could talk, it would tell you about the condition of your entire life. Right now, the oral care marketplace is a mess. And so we decided to launch a new company called Supermouth, which is a subscription model of oral care. And so we want to be proactively educating parents, providing the tools and the oral care products to make sure they can raise healthier, happier, more successful kids. The education piece is a key piece in our company, because if you're educated as a parent, you're going to do the right things. People can find my book, If Your Mouth Could Talk, themouthbook.com, and purchase the book there, and also get some special gifts to go along with the book.
You always want to live in the best home possible. And that's what really at the heart of what our business is all about. And for over 20 years now, we've been focused on helping people get to the right property. At Move Up San Diego, we have created systems that are duplicatable because that creates the same results. Whether it's a trade-in option that we're doing a lot of right now, which allows people to be a cash buyer before they actually sell their home, or our moving concierge program, which actually helps you not just with the buying and selling of a property, but we help with the entire move. The best way to get a hold of Move Up San Diego is to either visit our website, moveupsandiego.com, or you can download our app called Move Up Homes, or you can call me direct on my cell phone at 858-204-7259.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on YourView and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on YourView.
Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we dance to the Dome on Your View.
Brought to you by AB Tax Law. Triumph over your serious tax problems with AB Tax Law. Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
San Diego State men's basketball season came to a close last Thursday in round one of the NCAA tournament. The Aztecs lost 72-69 to Creighton in overtime. SDSU went into the half with a 37-30 lead, but Creighton was able to find a rhythm in the second half to tie it up and force some bonus basketball. In OT, down by 2 points, SDSU had possession with 4.3 seconds left, but some poor ball control after the inbound proved costly, and Creighton got the ball with 0.8 left to play. Chad Baker-Mazara scored 15 of his 17 points in the first half. Matt Bradley scored 16 points, while Trey Pulliam had 14. This was SDSU's 14th tournament appearance and third under head coach Brian Dutcher. SDSU finishes the year 23-9. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by YourView.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Replacing missing teeth with the new small diameter or mini implants. With us, we have an expert on the topic, Dr. Joe Gillespie. Dr. Gillespie.
Hey, Randy.
Welcome to the program.
Great to see you again.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Kaplan and Crew with just the crew, Alex Padilla, John Browner, and Jason Lawhead with you guys today. Scott will be back Tomorrow, this segment is brought to you by Corky's Pest Control. You guys already know the number and you guys know what to do. Any sort of pest in your home, you call Corky's. It's the only guy, the only company to call. 1-800-901-1102. All right, boys. I said before the break I was going to break some news to you two, and now it is official. By the way, when did Pat McAfee get in the news breaking business? What the, like, first Aaron Rodgers thing, and now this thing he breaks. I guess it's an indie story. So here is the news. There's lots of domino effects coming with the quarterbacks. This is like quarterback Mageddon over here. Everybody's moving somewhere. The Indianapolis Colts have traded for Matt Ryan.
The AFC wins again.
Goodbye out of the NFC, baby, as a Vikings fan. And it only cost the Colts a 3rd-round pick. That's it.
Wow.
That is it. Now, I don't know about you, Jason, but this guy over here is a big Carson Wentz fan. So I will ask you, Jason, have the Colts upgraded going from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan?
I think, yeah, in the short term of, what can we do from last year to next year? Probably. They'd get a guy that's accustomed to playing in a dome. You give him Jonathan Taylor, he still had a great, most of the season this year. They started out very slow and put themselves obviously behind the 8 ball, and then they were just playing uphill against Tampa all year. Wasn't going to happen, but yeah, he's still got some juice in that arm, but it's kind of like what they did when they went and got Rivers. Is it enough? I mean, like, as we've pointed out, look at the AFC West, look at the AFC North, look at Josh Allen over there in Buffalo. When you look at all the different quarterbacks and the weapons they have around them, and the stability that they have around them, but it's an upgrade, I think, for sure. And you might as well think short term in this case, because Carson Wentz, I don't think, is the long term. Right. It's not like you're sacrificing a guy that needs to just kind of get his footing. And
I think that's where the Colts. I think that's what the Colts are exactly thinking is short term, because they think they have thought that they're right there. They're so close, but they just can't get that quarterback. They tried Phillip Rivers, they tried Carson Wentz, and now they're trying Matt Ryan. I think that's exactly correct. The Colts organization thinks they're right there. They think they're right there to be real contenders, and they think that Matt Ryan will make them, or put them, at least the ability to beat the Jaguars week 17 to get into the playoffs, which they couldn't do this year.
Yeah, I mean, you got a 2,000 plus some young, all-purpose yards guy. You need a really good quarterback that can, withstand a long season and be able to, move the football and score points. He's proved it in the past with some talent around him. He's an older player now, and as we pointed out, that division or that conference is stacked.
Dude, the NFC is the JV right now. If you just
first of all, Matt Ryan hasn't been the same since they lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. Let's just call that what it is. That's step number one. Step number two, there's an arms race that the AFC is conducting. The NFC is just gonna watch. Like the fact that at the end of when we start training camp of 2022, the NFL landscape will look vastly different than it did when the Super Bowl was won by the Rams. And to me, the energy that gives the season, you can't value it now. There will be no NFC games on unless they're playing AFC teams. But, oh, my goodness. Like, what's left in the NFC? Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, who else?
Kirk Cousins is the I think I said it in Chicago. I made the observation because I was getting roasted by I was with 13 guys, all of who kicked down on Kirk Cousins, and I understand that.
They should have.
But let's look at the facts here. Let's look at the facts. Kirk Cousins is the 4th best quarterback in the NFC. You got Aaron Rodgers.
As of today?
Oh, no, you got Tom Brady. Yeah, as of today. You got Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers. I know I'm missing somebody.
Kyler
Murray, Kirk Cousins.
You think Kirk Cousins is better than Matt Stafford?
I think they're the same person.
They're the same person. I would say Matt Stafford. Actually, no, it wasn't. I swapped that. I did not put Kyler 3rd. I don't think Kyler's all that great. I put Stafford 3rd, Kirk 4th, Kyler 5th, Dak 6th. That's it. That's all you got in the NFC.
In all honesty, I would put Kyler Murray 3rd, and I would put Kirk Cousins 5th.
If
I
you
think
just
Matt Stafford
look, and listen, Browner, Pro Football Reference over here. If you look at hard line stats, Kirk Cousins has got much better numbers than Kyler Murray. And Kirk Cousins' numbers, if you look at interceptions ratio, better than Matt Stafford. Better than Matt Stafford. So
I'll tell you who might climb up this list quick this year, and watch out for a season is Jalen Hurts. I think that in the end, when you look at the wait till next season. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be the kind of player that we see leader-wise, at least, that we see what we expect Kyler Murray to be doing with the Cardinals. I think you're going to see what Jalen Hurts leader-wise, the quarterback position-wise, not so much how they play exactly the position and the talents that they are. But I really think this kid has kind of a knack coming out of Alabama, and I feel like he gets more out of his talent than a lot of guys in his situation would. So
he's better than the sum of his parts. I'll give him that. I would say that the Eagles don't
That's
have
fair.
much outside of Devontae Smith. And I still think Hurts got them to the playoffs. Like I think that's
fair.
That's an achievement. Kirk Cousins didn't get the Vikings to the playoffs, and they're a much more talented team. But if you watch the games, you get why. Anyways, that's not really what Browner. You're correct.
Kyler Murray did, but okay.
But dude, it is a 100% AFC. You're right. AFC quarterbacks. If the landscape has completely changed, and if it wasn't for Tom Brady coming back, but I think I actually said that when Brady hadn't unretired yet, which is why I had Kirk 3rd. I was like, that's what that was. Like Brady came back, and then I knocked Kirk down a notch. But
and if I'm a Colts fan, I'm going, hey, look, man, good, thanks. At least you understand that there's so much in this division that we got to get the best that we have out there. I'm glad. If I'm a Colts fan, I'm going, thank God for not getting Baker Mayfield. Thank God for maybe not getting another guy or two that are out there talking. And boy, did the Falcons handle that all just right. Everybody handled it right. Ryan knew they were trying to get Watson. There wasn't all this animosity. Once that deal couldn't get done, it was obvious that, hey, we probably need to move on, but we'll keep that just between us and let's get a trade. I mean, Matt Ryan going for a 3rd rounder. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, you couldn't get anything for Baker Mayfield right now. 7th rounder, maybe. I mean,
Matt Ryan is going for a 3rd.
That's why teams are just going to say, cut him. I'll wait till you cut him or whatever.
I mean, honestly, let's be real. Baker Mayfield can get you a package that Carson Wentz got.
No.
I don't think so right now.
Because here's why.
I mean, I think that
at the height of here's why. At the height of Baker Mayfield, he wasn't good as Carson Wentz. As good as he wasn't as good as Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
and that's why you still had to. And two, the people believing in Carson Wentz were the people who helped him get that high. So when the coach traded all that stuff for him, it was the coach who helped him get there. So
I think that perception is more important than reality in the NFL.
Yes.
And right now, perception is that Baker's not that good. Baker Mayfield is I don't ever want to hear fans complain about a guy not playing through pain, because Baker Mayfield is the number one example of why you should never do it.
Right.
You should never do it. Baker Mayfield was in the playoffs playing against the Chiefs, thinking that the Browns are on the up and up. He tore his shoulder up completely in week 2, Jason? Week 3? Something like that? And he played the entire, or not the entire, but he kept through it the whole time and did himself a massive disservice because now nobody wants him.
But I think he saw the writing on the wall. I think the writing on the wall was early from the front office. I think there was a vibe from his camp that, guess what? We're not offering you the contract. We're going to finish this year entering in the 5th year of that lame duck, and we're not going to tell you anything as much as we can. And I really think now that it's coming out that they were exploring Watson for so long, and they were trying to figure out what it would take and what was going to happen. And I think Baker saw the writing on the wall. I think he thought, if I take care of the injury and sit out the rest of the season, they're going to ride with Case Keenum and make a deal for what it was in his mind, Kirk Cousins, but their head was somewhere else. A lot of people speculated, Russell Wilson throughout the season as it wore on. Possibly they're trying to do something there, but it was Watson the whole time, as we find out. And so there isn't much left for Baker going in off that off season with a bad season, a shoulder surgery, and now a lot of the facts that even his teammates weren't coming in. They weren't really coming to his total back on the Odell thing. They're not coming to his total back on this. Matter of fact, Jarvis Landry is looking at a way to re-sign right now after they were going to let him go. So it's very interesting and telling. So I think Baker was I'm on the writing on the wall. I gotta play hurt and I gotta perform and I gotta keep this fan base. And if I win another playoff game, they'll burn the stadium down if they trade me or go somewhere else. But it didn't happen that way.
On our show, I'm going to repeat it here. Baker Mayfield is too media savvy for his own good. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, because what Jason just said is very accurate.
He overplayed his hand.
Yes, Baker Mayfield's looking going, if I come back hurt and win, the city will love me. But never thinking about, what if I don't play well? Then they could easily dispose of me. Like he's too media savvy. He thinks he's a genius. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room.
He overplayed his hand, and he actually he made it worse for himself at the end, because had he just said, look, my shoulder's messed up, I'm shutting down, and they gave Case Keenum the season, even if Case Keenum gets them into the playoffs, right? The perception at that point, especially for the Browns as a team trying to shop him, and for Baker Mayfield, is, hey, Baker Mayfield, the last thing we remember is him having a really good season last year and just getting hurt in the second game after playing a couple of good games. He's got value. He's got contract value, and the Browns had value to trade him. Guess what? As that all closed, as he kept playing, and now he can't get that big quarterback contract even from another team in a trade, and have them be all swooned by the fact that they traded for Baker Mayfield. Let's sign him now to a 4-year deal.
Like, where does he go? Where does he go?
Carolina? Does it matter where he goes? Does it matter where he goes? He's not going to turn that team into a contender. He's just not. So if he goes to Atlanta, Atlanta's in a full rebuild mode. They don't have any receivers. They have one good tight end. They have nothing in Atlanta anymore. Seattle is going into a full rebuild mode, like whether you don't believe it or not. It doesn't really matter where Baker goes at this point. He's going to be a plug and play for 1 year, prove it that you can play quarterback still. That's it. Because the NFL, here's one thing about the NFL, and the NFC South is a perfect example. It changes so drastically year to year, every single year. Just a few years ago, the Panthers were in the Super Bowl. A few years after that, the Falcons were in the Super Bowl. The Saints were a power in the NFC South. Now, Tom Brady is the longest tenured quarterback in the NFC South.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he retired and came back.
Yeah, he retired and came back. He's thrown the most touchdowns of any quarterback in the NFC South. That's Tom Brady. It is incredible how fast, and this is why this league is so freaking good, is because it changes from year to year. There's the teams that are kind of always good every year, but as far as top to bottom playoff teams, it changes all the time.
No other sport can give you that.
I mean, look where Mayfield and Darnold are from that class.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, and Sam, I don't even know if the Panthers want Sam Darnold back. I think
they might both be playing on the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, that's a good point. And here is, I'll transition to this since we're in football. Let's stick with football. And then we'll move on after this. But another big thing that happened this weekend: Davante Adams traded to the Raiders for a first and second round pick this year. Now listen. I know immediately that the Packers went on. No, Aaron knew about this. Aaron knew. He knew all along before he signed the contract that we were going to trade Davante Adams. I don't buy this for 1 second. Not for 1 second do I buy that. You think? Listen, I understand that money talks, and Aaron Rodgers getting paid $50 million a year, and that's probably worth it in itself. But to tell me and sit here that I'm going to go with Allen Lazard as my number one receiver this year, I don't think Aaron Rodgers signed up for that.
Do you think, though? I mean, look, it's coming out that Davante Adams always wanted to be a Raider. It was kind of
his best friend is Derek Carr. They played together at Fresno
exactly,
State. If you didn't know,
right? And they so you have that element, and the fact that he had always wanted to be his football career. He'd always wanted his whole life. He'd want to be a Raider. So now his college teammate Derek Carr is there, and it's something that he always had wanted. You don't think possibly. Well, I guess maybe not. There that conversation had ever happened between Davante Adams or Aaron Rodgers. Davante divulging like, man, when my contract's up, or I'd love to be a Raider someday. Yeah, or even towards the end of this season, as decisions were being made, you don't think that they maybe had that that relationship wasn't, part of their wide receiver quarterback relationship. I don't know. I feel like Rodgers is like, hey, I'll take this payday, and I'm good enough in this division to go 10-7 without Davante Adams and get to the playoffs and not embarrass myself. I guess he figures, Davante Adams or not, the Lions, I got the Bears. I won't embarrass myself. They'll go get me somebody enough to not embarrass myself.
Browner,
look, man, we're asking this question as if everyone isn't doing the same thing. We just talked about the arms race. I like the fact that the Raiders, and by the way, paid the man.
Yeah.
It's another trend that's going around. People cutting checks, man. People cutting checks. Because I thought the Raiders were probably the least active team that needed to be the most active. And they dropped probably the third biggest bomb this offseason. Because that's a large payday. And for that.
He could have got more.
Huh?
He could have got more for somewhere else. I'm saying that's what's crazy. It is a large payday, but that's how much he wanted to be a Raider. The market would have paid him even more somewhere.
He's getting paid.
Now we look at this division, because when Russell Wilson moved to the division, we went, whoa, and now Davante Adams moving to the division again. Even with Seattle making that move, they're the fourth best team in that division, because the Raiders' offense. The Raiders' offense. We talk. Go ahead.
Let's take a look at it, because I put a graphic up so we can visualize it together, and we could take a look. This is the depth chart currently for all 4 AFC West teams. And let me read it off, and then we'll vote. Who you guys think has the deepest team? Who's the best offense? I'm not talking about defense. I'm just talking about offense right now, strictly offense right now. Chargers, quarterback Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and I guess Donald Parham, or you could also put Gerald Everett, who they just signed at tight end. Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Travis Kelce. The Broncos, Russell Wilson, Javonte Williams. I believe the Broncos cut Melvin Gordon. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, and I don't know this tight end. And the Raiders, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. So let's just take a look at it one more time. I'll leave it on screen.
You could put me at running back for Kansas City, and that's still the deepest offense. That's still the deepest offense.
Yeah, I think that for me,
I mean, there's some great. Believe me, those are great depth charts right there. I'm not, but look at KC's right now.
Yeah, for me, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a legit running back when he's healthy. I think. Let's not forget, he was a first-round pick too. I think because Mahomes is the best quarterback in the division, as close as it is with Herbert or whatever. Mahomes is the best. That is a scary offense. Scary.
The answer to this question is the silver and black, no doubt. And I'm not even a Raiders fan. I'm not really that big of a Derek Carr fan. I'm glad his name's on the screen, or I would have called him David.
Right.
Josh Jacobs is a legit running back. Davante Adams is arguably the best receiver in the NFL.
Well, now we get to your point, and I love that it's going to happen, because Cooper Kupp system wide receiver. You said no, Davante Adams can do it anywhere. Now we'll know, can Davante Adams do it anywhere? I love this.
Davante Adams goes and proves he's the best receiver in football. Hunter Renfrow has get open disease. He can get open, period. And then you put Travis Kelce, Darren Waller. They're pretty much same talent level. So I think those two guys cancel each other out. I think Hunter Renfrow is better than Juju Smith-Schuster, more consistent.
That's another Brown facts right there, Mike. Come on, dude.
Okay. And Davante Adams, he better than Tyreek Hill. End of story. As far as
I just think that there's a lot of, for me, I always start at the quarterback position. I haven't even got to the offensive line, by the way. That's equally as important here, but whatever.
That's true.
I think that I just don't trust Derek Carr. We got 60 seconds, and we can get into it more if you want. I just don't trust him. Now, he has a legit number one receiver, a legit number one tight end, a legit 1B
how does he
running
execute
back.
the long ball to him is really how
Right.
that's all going to go, right? Because
I
that's
think
where
this
Rodgers,
is-
right? Because Devontae Adams going to beat guys one-on-one. And can Derek Carr consistently get him the long ball, get it into his stride, and they can turn points? Because that's what Aaron Rodgers was great at. If there's one thing Rodgers is great at, it was slinging it downfield and just striking that big play from anywhere on the field.
Raiders got a new coaching staff, Josh McDaniels. The Broncos got a new coaching staff, Nathaniel Hackett. You got solidity at the Chiefs with the coaching position. They're the same. The Chargers going into year 2 with their coaching staff. It is an incredible division, and I cannot wait to watch this thing, because every game that they play, offensively at least, on paper, you can argue that it's almost a wash, really. And I think that's what's exciting about this division is you can have a debate about it, and you can be right in so many different ways. We'll be right back. Kaplan and Crew, kaplanandcrew.com.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
You're listening to the 50,000-watt Powerhouse, bringing you the new generation of radio up and down all of California with a little bit of attitude. This is SoCal Sports Talk, the all-new and mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on Your View.
Replacing missing teeth with the new small diameter or mini implants. With us, we have an expert on the topic, Dr. Joe Gillespie. Dr. Gillespie.
Hey, Randy.
Welcome to the program.
Great to see you again.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
San Diego State men's basketball season came to a close last Thursday in round 1 of the NCAA tournament. The Aztecs lost 72-69 to Creighton in overtime. SDSU went into the half with a 37-30 lead, but Creighton was able to find a rhythm in the second half to tie it up and force some bonus basketball. In OT, down by 2 points, SDSU had possession with 4.3 seconds left, but some poor ball control after the inbound proved costly, and Creighton got the ball with 0.8 left to play. Chad Baker-Mazara scored 15 of his 17 points in the first half. Matt Bradley scored 16 points, while Trey Pulliam had 14. This was SDSU's 14th tournament appearance and 3rd under head coach Brian Dutcher. SDSU finishes the year 23-9. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on YourView.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on YourView.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on YourView.
Hollander Dental is unique because we have been serving the Carlsbad community for over 25 years. We have a very spacious office with ample parking and state-of-the-art technology. The office has been newly renovated, so all the equipment and facility is brand new. Any patient visiting Hollander Dental can expect to be taken care of at every step of their visit.
With care and love and support. So when we're going through tough times, as dental work is and can be, they make it easy for us as patients.
Investing in your smile and your overall dental health in the long run will help you save money by preventing other medical conditions.
I would absolutely recommend Hollander Dental.
I do recommend Hollander Dental to anyone I know who needs something done.
You always want to live in the best home possible. And that's what really at the heart of what our business is all about. And for over 20 years now, we've been focused on helping people get to the right property. At Move Up San Diego, we have created systems that are duplicatable because that creates the same results. Whether it's a trade-in option that we're doing a lot of right now, which allows people to be a cash buyer before they actually sell their home, or our moving concierge program, which actually helps you not just with the buying and selling of a property, but we help with the entire move. The best way to get a hold of Move Up San Diego is to either visit our website, moveupsandiego.com, or you can download our app called Move Up Homes, or you can call me direct on my cell phone at 858-204-7259.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YourView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we dance to the Dome on YourView.
Brought to you by Airy Church Live at Pechanga Arena, San Diego on Friday, May 6th, 2022. Tickets at access.com. The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on YourView and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC, Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on YourView. If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on YourView, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
When you're craving great Mexican food,